Many of us who are beginning to awake within our consciousness. So within the research of things, first of all, you have to go into explain or define to another individual this term and why. Okay?
Melanated empire, melanated empire, melanated empire.
Yeah, peace, love, and bliss to the family. We're back. We're black again. Black again, you know. Black again. And we're running, showing the family a little bit of the merchandise still. So our presentation got interrupted. You know what I mean? Like, how rude, man. How rude. I can interrupt some boy, not in the middle of the presentation, but while they're getting their flow going. That's not very nice, Facebook. Or I actually don't know if it's my fault. You know. Sometimes it could be my internet connection because the weather is very bad. But how is it that this is not the first time, yo? It's not the first time. You check it? It's not the first time. So anyway, we're gonna continue. I'm continuing from where I stopped, you know. We're starting back. You check it? We're coming back again, full strong with the original understanding, right? So I ran it on my phone. If the laptop on the play were like giving problems, you check it, and I'll just switch the screen over to view the laptop, right, family? With scissors, nobody will have to see my scissors, how much gum on the scissors there. But yeah, so let me give a little zoom on that there. You can show the family seeing everything. Happy holidays. Debunking December solemnized days. Not sodomized, solemnized. Like recognized to be something holy or significance. Right? So we began the presentation by saying we're basically in the month of December. For those who don't know, today is actually St. Lucia's National Day. And it's December 13th, right? So since we're in December, to begin the delineation, we're going to have a look at the month of December. For all my mathematicians, and this is basic foundational mathematics. Everyone's supposed to know this, right? That the prefix, I mean, within the English lexicon, our English words are comprised of syllables. Okay, we have the prefixes and the suffix. If you want to break down any word, okay, and to understand its root, you will have to distinguish between the prefix and the suffix. So basically, the prefix of December is dec, right? Now, it is not, we don't say december, because of the ember, the words which adds on, you have to change the pronunciation of the last letter, so it turns to December. So as you can see in the presentation, it says the prefix dec has variants as dec, dec, dek, or I mean to put deka there, and that indicates 10, like a decagon. A decagon is a 10-sided polygon having equal sides. All right, family? So if December supposed to signify 10, right? Why is it's the 12th month? Let's have another look at this. If September, if sept means 7, okay, like we have our broken down, like our part was speaking here in St. Lucia. If sept means 7, right? Why is September the 9th month? Now, as I said in the first video, this is because Julius and Augustus Caesar put in July and August to signify themselves, you know, to actually commemorate themselves. So put it in as additional months. So these two additional months made months that were supposed to be in the original understanding of the word, being September was supposed to be the 7th month. Because of the two additional months, September now became the 9th month. And December, which was the 10th month, because of the two additional months, now became the 12th month. Okay, family? So that's just the first understanding there. So we're basically in December, which is supposed to be the 10th month, but it's basically the 12th month. Again, because of the Julius and the Gregorian calendar that we're dealing with today. So Happy holidays. That's what you'll hear everyone saying. Happy holidays, happy holidays. So what's this holiday thing about? Okay, I mean, the first understanding we have of it is a holiday is a special day of celebration, a day when most people do not have work. I mean, I myself even have to say give thanks that I don't have to go to work today, and give thanks I can even run this. You know what I mean? And again, because of complications, because of YouTube removing some of its functions, I have to now run this on Facebook and probably just upload it on the channel. But we're in our beginning stages of learning a program called OBS, so hopefully we won't have to do this. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So the very first understanding anyone will have of a holiday is a special day of celebration, a day when most people do not have any work. Okay, now the prefix holy is linked to holy and holy, right? Now the English word holy goes back to Latin helios, and that means the sun. Okay, so anyone who basically studies the etymology of words, when you come across the word Holy Bible, you will know that it goes back to Helios Biblios, meaning sun book or sun papers. Give thanks for the showers coming down. All these people are going to watch horse racing there right now. I wonder how they stay there. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So the other definition of the word holy goes back to holly, the actual holly. Holly is a sacred tree, a shrub, okay, that actually grows into a tree. It's a big shrub, you can say, just because of how it grows. Sacred to a people referred to as the Druids. Now, this holly tree, when burnt, okay, it makes you hallucinate, family. Okay, so the wood of the tree, because obviously a tree is made of wood, so the wood of the tree, when you burn it, it makes you hallucinate. This is also synonymous with the place called Hollywood, because obviously when they give us these blockbuster movies, right, you can swear the shit you're seeing on the screen is real. You check what I'm telling you? Sounds like a plane is crashing, you know. But yeah, hopefully not. But so it's synonymous with that. So basically it makes you hallucinate, family. Okay? Now, these Druids people, those who venerated that holy tree, why the tree actually came into significance, okay? Because this whole Christmas tree thing, that's where it actually stems from, you know. Okay? So the holy tree was worshipped by the Druids. And a Druid is a high-ranking member of Celtic cultures of Britain, Scotland, and Ireland. Now, while these cultures worship nature, okay, and being polytheistic, meaning many deities, one of the prominent deities was Cernunnos, which was a horned man-goat deity. You can see him on the right here, family. You can see him on the left here, sorry, well, my left, I hope it's your left as well. I'm playing making a lot of noise there, huh? And the shower's coming down, give thanks. So yeah, give thanks for the family first. I mean, I know it's just two, but it's gonna get out there, you know. Give thanks for even those with us. So this Cernunnos, you can see with his image on the right, family, that he is a splitting image of Baphomet. Okay, we're gonna go into this now. Yahweh equals El equals Lord. Now, according to the Canaanite myths, El's marriage to Beirut produced heaven and earth. In the Bible, when you see God, it is a translation of one of the many versions of El. So we have Elohim, El Shaddai, El Roy, and El Elyon. Okay, all these are just different variations of the word El. It is a translation of Yahweh. So when you see Lord, it is a translation of Yahweh. So this will explain my heading showing Yahweh equals El equals Lord. Because when you hear the word Israel, remember the people who call themselves Israel had to go and take over the land of the Canaanites. And El is a predominant god of the Canaanites family. You see what I'm saying? So, if El, right, if El basically is Lord, which is Yahweh, I'm basically telling you that Lord is Baal and is Satan. You check it? In the first video I say, well, like, I ain't telling you, but I'm showing you evidence. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. You understand? Middle Ancient Empire, we're not on that Christmas thing there, we just come here and debunk everything. Black people have to wake up today. Well, not today. I mean, every time we're saying today. But people have to wake up, guys. And we're waking up slowly. You know, give thanks for that. So, according to the lexicon, Strongman's concordance, number H 1168, we have Baal being a proper locative noun, proper masculine noun. And over here it says basically Baal equals Lord, a supreme male divinity of the Phoenician or Canaanites. To the bottom family, it says Beelzebub. Okay, Beelzebub is a name derived from a Philistine god formerly worshipped in Ekron and later adopted by some Abrahamic religions as a major demon. The name Beelzebub is associated with the Canaanite god Baal. Now, in the previous video, I brought to you guys' attention that when you're finding the origin of words, you can substitute vowels. Vowels are basically interchangeable. So because we have Baal being the two A's, you can interchange the two A's for another vowel, in this case, which would be E. So instead of Baal, we would get Bel. Okay? Now, a lot of people saying, oh, if it wasn't for this Strongman's concordance, we probably wouldn't know Baal equals Lord. It actually says in the Bible, I think is Hosea chapter 2 verse 16. Don't quote me on that, you can check it out. There is a part where God, Jehovah, says, you shall no longer call me Baali with an I. It is the B-A-A-L-I. I should have really put that in there for you to really see it. You see what I'm saying? But within the deeper understanding, Baal is Beelzebub family, and Beelzebub is Satan. So this should lead you to the understanding that the God of the Old Testament is actually Satan. I'm being serious about this, you know, and the evidence is right there. Because let's continue reading. Beelzebub is a name derived from a Philistine god formerly worshipped in Ekron and later adopted by some Abrahamic religions as a major demon. The name Beelzebub is associated with the Canaanite god Baal. In theological sources, predominantly Christian, Beelzebub is sometimes another name for the devil, similar to Satan. So Yahweh, which is the name of the God of the Old Testament, is El, which means Lord, which means Baal, which means Satan. Repetition is key, family. I hope I'm getting that straight. You understand? So the holiday, these holidays, okay, there is a deeper esoteric understanding behind these things and what the initial veneration or worship was for, because these things were practiced by the ancient Romans or Greeks. You see, anything we're practicing today within this system was brought to us by those Greeks, those Europeans, being the Greeks and the Romans family. Okay? So today, as anyone should know, is December 13th. Today is December 13th. So today in St. Lucia is called National Day. This day marks the feast of this day marks the feast of St. Lucia, right? In commemoration of the patron saint of the island called Saint Lucy. Now, who is this Saint Lucy? Saint Lucy was a Christian martyr who died in the Diocletian persecution of Christians in 304 AD. She is of Greek heritage. I just tell you everything that comes to us is of Greek and Roman, you know. And look, the island was actually named of a Christian martyr of Greek heritage called Saint Lucy, and they also call her Saint Lucia, right? Now, she died during the Diocletian persecution. The Diocletian persecution, family, was basically an onslaught purported by Diocletius, who is a Roman emperor who lived, I think the date is 284 to 305 AD CE, right? he basically restored the Roman government. Okay, that is fundamental when you know about, because when you check in history and certain individuals, there are certain things that they did that will attach that memory of them to it, right? So he restored the Roman government, and he is also responsible for the persecution of the Jews, which is where Saint Lucy, right, came into the whole program. She was actually part of those people. And he as well, the last thing about him is he is the foundation. He set the foundation, right, of the Byzantine Empire in the East. The Byzantine Empire in the East is the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Finna get into that in another, subsequent broadcast, as they say. But anyway, Saint Lucy is the patron saint of the blind, and her name signifies light. Okay, the tale says that her eyes were removed and she was burnt alive. Okay, I also touch upon her in my book. I also touch upon her. It's a book we're currently revising, The Caribbean, Saint Lucia Uncovered. Right, we're gonna revise that and bring that back for the people straight up and down. Now, Lucy and Lucifer. That you really go in a kind of way. Yeah, so a little holiday the people have when you want to come and just try and dread up the people holiday like that. That's, I mean, come on. But we have to bring the truth, family. We have to bring the truth, because we should understand and hold in our head that anything brought to us by these people is not really for the good within righteousness, because these people are predominantly evil. I mean, these people are responsible for the genocides of millions of people across the world, indigenous, African, and what have you, everywhere. You see it? And nothing is being done. So, I mean, this is the time of the awakening. We are now entering the Aquarian age where knowledge is just being dispersed. And in so doing, I mean, we can get an incorrect understanding of things. But if you are being led with discernment and with the spirit and energy of Ma'at, you will come to realization and come to truth. So as a result, all religions, right? All religions basically came to us as a result of an acculturation process, where it is foreign principles that have been superimposed upon us, as a result of us being colonialized. And we practice these principles for so long, we're actually thinking that it came from us and it emanated from us. When the truth is people we actually got these things from. Okay? So all this Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, fireburn, as the ancient Rastaman will say. It is the time of the awakening. And if the Rastaman now will not, in fact, he have to drop that Christianity concept, that Bible, and rise up. You check it within this time, because within time immemorial, it was the Rastaman still, when everybody was still confused, that kind of held a sort of levity in tune with nature. Okay? And with the introduction of that Helios Biblios, somehow got infiltrated and latching onto that there too much. But time will tell within the understanding. But let's take it right back. So Lucy, who Saint Lucia was named after, right, is the patron saint of Syracuse. This is in Italy. Okay? It is said that she was burnt alive, and before she was burnt alive, she took her eyes out. So this is why you can see, family, here she has a platter, and on the platter you can see her two eyes, and she was stabbed in the neck before she was actually burnt alive. So you can see the thing in the neck right here. Who will actually build a statue depicting a woman's eyes on a plate and stab? Like, who does these things, family? So what I wanted the family to understand is that Lucy, her name, according to the last slide, if you read properly, her name, she is a patron saint for the blind, because remember, they removed her eyes. Now your eyes are your windows to the world, are windows to the soul, even through the light, because when the UV rays of the sun, the electromagnetic spectrum of the sun, enters your eye, your eyes, it actually gets fragmented, like what's the word, fam? Found the word right now. The word elude me right now, but it's sort of like when white light goes through a prism or a clear quartz, it actually slows it down, and you can get those 7 rays, family. Okay, so you can get that light. So her name, because her eyes were removed and she's now blind, her name now means light, obviously, and she's a patron saint for the blind. Okay, and you can see now her eyes on the platter. Now her name means light. And Lucifer, you can even hear her name in the word Lucifer, means the light bearer. So probably the fur means bearer and the Lucy actually means light, because we just saw that the Lucy means light. So I'm showing you the prefix and the suffix. Okay, so I'm just fooling around on Google and I'm like, let me just type Lucy and Lucifer and see what pull up. And this is the image I got to the right. You see, family, so to show you that, you know, your boy ain't talking shit. You check what I'm telling you, your boy ain't talking shit. Now, this September 13th, we leave. First of all, we began with the holiday, because basically it's a holiday. Okay, the origin of the word holy. So it also linked to the Druids, the chief deity of the Druids being Cernunnos, who resembles Baphomet or Satan. We showed that where this holiday is, Saint Lucia, was actually named after the patron saint, Saint Lucy, and her name is a derivative of Lucifer, who still is Satan. Hope the family is with me, you know. So this day is also venerated throughout the world, having different significances, right? But since we are in the part of the Americas, being in Central America, this day in the US is seen as the National Day of the Horse. And right now in St. Lucia, we have the opening of the horse racetrack. So enough of our people right now, not even there. They're probably preparing to go to the horse race. So it turned to a gambling and a money thing there right now. You see what I'm saying? And after the horse race, they actually brought down Jackie. So after the horse race, people can go and see Jackie perform live with the same ticket as the horse race, you know, for promotion. So this is what's going on. So December 14th, while it is National Day in St. Lucia, meant to commemorate St. Lucy, who the island was named after, who had the eyes removed, whose name means light. I'm showing you synonymous with Lucifer. And right now I'm showing you that same December 13th, if we do not even check the day, what it means in St. Lucia, but in the US, meaning National Day of the Horse, we still have here in St. Lucia the opening of the very first horse racing track in St. Lucia. I mean, come on now, like, come on, man, come on. If anybody can really put them things together, or if you cannot see what I'm saying via sound right reasoning, I don't know what to tell you again. Now, how many days from this holiday, which is the patron day of the Saint Lucy, to Christmas? From National Day of Lucy to Christmas is exactly 12 days, family. 12 days, right? This number should ring a bell, as it is also associated with the holiday in another form, referred to as the Epiphany, or as most would know it, the song called the 12 Days of Christmas. Okay, so 12 days from the day of Lucy to Christmas, and we have 12 days of Christmas to January 6th, called the Epiphany. Mind you, every day of the 12 from Christmas to December 6th, we call the Epiphany. Every day is meant to venerate a particular individual, be it a saint within Catholicism, and it begins December 25th from the Jesus Christ. You check it? So, why, black family, do you want to celebrate the death of the sun? And they say, oh, nothing, we're just doing it for the children. And you know, why would you have to wait till Christmas to even buy you something? You see what I'm saying? You know, right now we should be showing our YouTube that Christmas and that Santa Claus story, all that is just fake. You understand? And it's even just a way of making black people spend more money, which they should be taking to invest in themselves and the future generations. But obviously, we think that money is the root of all evil, as I just did an Empress breakdown in one video. And as a result, we think anything associated with money basically be led to evil. Again, it is the mind of an individual, because you must take into consideration how and what, that the black man went through even during the time of slavery, okay, which would explain our post-traumatic slave syndrome presently. So why celebrate the death of the sun? From December 22nd, okay, the sun appears to not move in the southern hemisphere, right? It remains in that position for 3 days before it rises up 1 degree on the 25th of December and goes into the southern crux constellation. Now, people will say, okay, well, the sun doesn't move. Is we revolving around the sun that makes it appear as that it moves? That is correct. But then how would you explain the great year cycle? Okay, the sun moves through the complete circle of the ecliptic belt, which resides the 12 constellations, okay, that we call the zodiacs, and it goes through these things every, let's just say, 24,000 years. If you want to get exact, I think it's 25,190, but just to round it off, let's just say 24,000 years. And as a result, it spends 2,000 years in every constellation, okay? But this movement is very subtle. That's why it spends 2,000 years in one constellation. But it is correct that because of our revolution around the sun, it appears that the sun is moving, and when we get to December, it appears further south as it can go. But I'm telling you, when it appears as its furthest point south, it remains there for 3 days. On the 25th of December, okay, it rises up 1 degree and begins its journey back to the northern hemisphere. Right, family? So why celebrate the death of the sun? All this Christmas thing, because remember, from St. Lucy, which is the day, I can say, of Satan really, right? This day. So from St. Lucy, then you have 12 days, a sort of epiphany, to Christmas, which again is a celebration of the death of the sun, as we're doing right here. Okay, the etymology of Jesus, the sun dying on the cross, as we can see. The southern crux, as I explained, December 25th, you will see that the sun rising on the crux. Our ancestors explained it within this Medunator, this hieroglyph. You can see that the jet pillar being Osiris, being the lord of the underworld, okay, the sun now rising up, but we portrayed the crux as an Ankh family, okay, and we have the veneration of Nephis and Isis, and her name also being Mary, but Isis there was symbolic of the star Sirius, which is part of the Canis Major constellation, which is the great dog. Okay, again, from this, the astrological understanding from times, the ancestors broke it down, okay, because we were ancient astrologers, and then the Europeans now, who came and stole the sciences, try and put it as a literal man, historically trying to make us look up to a day like today. And no such person ever existed, family. This is facts. Okay, now when the sun is going through this tribulation, you check it, because it's the Son of God, not the S-O-N, but the S-U-N. When the sun is going through this tribulation, who is in rulership, might I ask? Right? Anyway, before this day called Christmas, within ancient days, it was known as Saturnalia. Okay? Saturnalia was an ancient Roman festival in honor of the god Saturn, held on 17th December of the Julian calendar and later expanded with festivities throughout December. The holiday was celebrated with a sacrifice at the Temple of Saturn in the Roman Forum, and a public banquet followed by private gift-giving, continual partying, and a carnival atmosphere that overturned Roman social norms. Gambling was permitted, and masters provided table service for the slaves, and it is seen as a time of liberty for both slaves and freedom men alike. A common custom was the election of a king of the Saturnalia, who would give orders to people, which were to be followed and preside over the merrymaking. The gifts exchanged were usually gag gifts of small figurines made of wax or pottery known as sigilleria. The poet Catullus called it the best of days. As you can see on the right, wishing you and yours I think Saturnalia, I think that's a happy Saturnalia. Partying, pranks, and winter solstice merrymaking in ancient Rome, December 17th to the 25th. If you think I'm making this shit up, family. So, from the 17th to the 25th was Saturnalia. Okay? So when the sun is dead, because anything that appears to not move within nature, especially for 3 days, right, we call it dead. So it appears that the sun died for those 3 days. And on the 25th, since it moved up 1 degree, it sort of said that it resurrected, okay, and it was, born again. Now, while the sun is dead, who is ruling? Why do you think the holiday was called Saturnalia? Okay, it is in veneration of the god Saturn. Now you must be saying, Saturn is a planet, why I call it a god? Saturn is actually a Roman god, family. These things that we call mythology, that we call Greek mythology and Roman mythology, was actually real to the Greeks and the Romans. So Saturn was a god, okay? And within Greek mythology, Saturn was the god Kronos. And Kronos is what they referred to as Father Time. And Father Time also ate his children. And Kronos links up with the word chronology, which is time as well. So when we break down time, we get what they try to refer to as the mark of the beast, 666. Because you have 60 seconds in a minute, you have 60 minutes in an hour, and you have 24 hours in a day. When you add the 2 plus the 4, you get 6. Okay? As a result, or mystically, the North Pole of Saturn has a hexagon, which is like a storm brewing, family. Okay? The inside of the storm goes anti-clockwise and the outside goes clockwise. Alright? This hexagon having 6 sides. Remember, I just broke down how Kronos, being Father Time, eats his children, and is Satan as well, because Saturn, that's where the word actually came from, The word Satan, it actually came from Saturn. Okay? So again, this whole presentation have kind of been on the same line. Okay? I just hope you're connecting the dots as we go along. So Saturn, having that hexagon, a hex in another dimension is a cube, family. Right? Because a cube has 6 equal sides. A hexagon has 6 equal sides. You see what I'm telling you? So Saturn is also referred to within ancient mythology as the black sun. Okay? The black sun can also be called the black cube, as we can see on top, the North Pole, right, of Saturn. We can see the hexagon and the storm brewing. So we can call the black sun the black cube. Now I'm going to show you that within all religions, they venerate that black cube of Saturn, which is Satan. That's why all these religions are satanic or demonic religions, family. Straight up and down and in the middle. Right? So we can see that the hexagon on another dimension, we get the cube, and we have the cube worship in the Kaaba in Mecca. Okay? And to the right is Judaism. Right? We can see the cube here on the little boy's head. This is practice. This is what they refer to as the tefillin, held in. When you open that up, you get different passages of the Torah that they recite. You see what I'm telling you? And he has to wrap these leather bands, this black leather band around his hand. How many times? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, family. This signifies the rings of Saturn. This is hard satanic worship within these so-called religions, which is supposed to show us the way to God. This is the awakening, family. So we have as well these individuals, when they go and do the pilgrimage to Mecca, going around the cube in the same pattern that the storm is brewing on top of the North Pole, on the North Pole of Saturn, family. Okay? And going deeper within this, Saturn, the cube and the cross. Because a cube, when you unfold the cube, you get a cross. You see what I'm saying? When you unfold a cube, you get a cross. Now, if you have to take the hexagon and you draw even triangles, family, on each of the points, you will get what they refer to as the Star of David or the Star of Israel, which only signifies Saturn as well. And this is within Judaism and Christianity. You see it, family? Now, remember, these months, December, we are getting more darkness than light. Okay? More darkness than light. Don't know if the family can see here. You can see the mouse moving, right? Okay. This line here to the top here, and it bends down, sort of like a sine wave. This is the ecliptic belt and the path that the sun takes along this line, and then this one now would add back, would join back to this one, and it would just continue. This is the line along which the constellations reside. Okay, so up here we have 6, or you can say 7 constellations, and at the below it, okay, we have the 5 or the 6. All right, if we have to go into specifics, Libra sort of finds itself above the equator, the celestial equator. Okay, this is another depiction of the sine wave that I just showed you. Okay, when we are in the first 6 months, counting from March, okay, from Aries, from March, April, from Aries, right, from spring, the sun is in its ruling time. Okay, we have more light than day. When the sun passes the equator, family, then we have more darkness than light. Now here we see it says December 21st. So around here, because as it goes here, Pisces, now from Pisces would come to give you Aries again. So from here, December 21st, Christmas, and we are around here. You see what I'm telling you? Now, the ruling, no, before I get into this, the deity we see in here is actually Capricorn, right? Capricorn, goat-headed deity. Okay, Capricorn in December. Sumero-Babylonian name, the goatfish. This is the constellation. This is the symbol. English translation is the goat. From December 22nd to January 20th. So we're basically in the sign of Capricorn right now. What planet rules Capricorn, Simon? Well, the planet that rules Capricorn is Saturn. Family, we bring the thing all a whole 360 there for you, you know. We bring the understanding right back from the start of the video. Okay? So this Saturn or Satan or Lucifer is embedded within the understanding of all of this, from since this holiday, this horse racing, this National Horse Day thing going on. We can see the understanding. You see what I'm saying? So having said that, family, that's all, folks. Okay, it was just a short video, you know. It was just a short video, you know. As I said, it wasn't premeditated. Just woke up with it on my mind and said, you know what, let me just put some sides together and just give the family something. You should get, because it's the awakening, family. So anyone missed anything, you can go back and watch it again without going through that again. And we give thanks. Even Quincy, big up yourself, bro. I didn't even know you subscribe. Keep the fire burning wherever you are. Know that you are basically part, an intrinsic part, you should get, of that creator. You know what I mean? You are that God. And having said that, family, hope you like the video. We have to go into the year 2020. Focus, you know, not on none of that make-believe, none of that demonic, Lucifer, satanic religion worship thing. Venerate your ancestors, give your affirmations, and you will see things manifest within reality. Peace, love, and peace.